Good morning, rather good afternoon. I just finished a recording for a radio show in Norway and I was stuttering to speak properly. The radio show was conducted completely in Tamil, and if you're wondering why, that's my mother tongue. I make content online, not on this channel. It's mainly on different platforms about Tamil history and heritage and understanding the overlooked and neglected aspects of it. So of course, this interview was done in Tamil, but all of my notes I had prepared were in English. So while I was looking at my notes throughout the show, my brain literally started like buffering because I couldn't auto-translate because there was like bullet points all in English. And you have to tell me, if you speak another language, does this happen to you if you're reading or thinking something in English? Does your brain just then buffer and you're like struggling to speak because you're like, how do I say that? It's not that you don't know how to say that, it's just not coming out properly. I feel like my pronunciations were not good and I was just using a lot of English words because I couldn't think that fast on the spot. Basically, using English notes threw me off. I don't think I'm going to do that next time. And if you're wondering what topic I was talking about, it was colonization. I think this topic is really overlooked. Majority of the world was colonized, and we all just kind of throw it around. We're so nonchalant about it. We're like, yeah, we got colonized, bad things happen. But people don't really understand exactly what happened during colonial periods and how it still affects us today. So I think we had a great conversation. I did a lot of talking. At first, just explaining, giving background context. I'll share a clip with subtitles so you could see how much I was struggling. Oh god. எங்களோட தமிழ் மரபு எங்களை விட்டு ஏன் போனது என்று எங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஃபுல் புரிதல் வரும். அதுக்காக ஃபுல்லாக விட்டு போனது என்று நான் சொல்ல வரையில, ஆனால் அதில் நிறைய விஷயங்கள் எங்களை விட்டு போயிருக்கு. ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் காலனைசேஷனை பற்றி பேச முதல் நாங்கள் பழங்கால தமிழர்களை பற்றி பேச வேணும். எல்லாருக்கும் தெரிஞ்சிருக்க வேண்டிய ஒரு விஷயம் வந்து, பழங்கால தமிழர்கள் வந்து உலகம்ல இருக்கிற பல்வேறு சிவிலைசேஷன்ஸோட வணிகம் செய்து கொண்டிருந்தவர். So we were trading with the entire world. Greeks இருக்கட்டும், Romans இருக்கட்டும், Egyptians இருக்கட்டும். ஒரு உதாரணம் உங்களுக்கு சொல்றேன். The class I'm off to today is Silambam, which is an ancient Tamil martial arts form. And I can't help but also reflect on how colonization has even affected this martial arts form. People who practice traditional martial arts were targeted and even killed. A lot of people even got their hands cut off so they wouldn't be able to practice and teach these art forms again, because of course they didn't want people fighting back against them. And because of that, a lot of these art forms went underground. So people who were teaching, so the asans or the masters who were teaching and passing down this information, didn't easily trust people. A lot of the tactics, techniques, and secrets were eventually spilled to colonizers and used against them by people who were either bribed, manipulated, or forced to give them information. And of course, there's so many other things I could share with you, but I'm going to save that for another day because I don't want to be late to class. You guys are not going to believe the synchronicity of what just happened in class. When I got to Slumba, my martial arts class, they spent a good chunk of time talking about colonization and how the art form is dying, and this started, during that period. And I thought it was so interesting because that's literally what I was just talking about. And it's so sad to know something that holds so much insights into other aspects of the way of life of the people who practiced this art form is dying, And I don't know, I can just imagine, like, I'm talking about one martial arts form, right? But think about all the other aspects other than outside of the arts that got affected by this, that got erased or destroyed or forgotten. And then times that by all of the different countries that faced colonization. As the human race, how much of ancestral wisdom have we lost? And yet, and I know I'm saying we've lost a lot. I know there's a lot of people doing things to try and understand and revive those things. but I don't know if we will ever get to the same understanding, because there was a big chunk of when we just stopped valuing and paying attention and practicing these things. I don't know, I don't mean to end on a sad note, but if I had a time machine, I wish I could go back and learn the things that people then knew, because I could see the damage that's been done and how much has been lost. Things that have been lost, by the way, were valued by the people who oppressed us, because a lot of that knowledge, the wisdom, manuscripts, teachings, they took back with them, as well as natural resources and gems and wealth and all that other stuff that they stole, right? I will link a few books that I think are really cool in the description if you're interested in learning and reading more. And I want to know, if you had a time machine and you can go back to any time period in history from the past, where would you want to go and why? Let me know, and I will see you tomorrow.